my man Fat Chief made for me after I gave him a free 2 pound whey isolate protein. He still hasn't bought it yet, but crabs in a bucket, I guess. Nobody wants to see anybody else succeed except for Moff. So, you know, appreciate Moff a lot. I got some videos for you guys, some military content. If you guys are new here, I'm Jason Olivo. I am a second class petty officer in the United States Navy Seabees. I'm a UT. I am a plumber and an HVAC tech by trade, but I'm a CB, so I'm pretty much builder support. Yeah, and like I said, I got some good stuff. I got some juicy stuff from Nikki MGTV. It is some good juicy stuff, man. It is so good. Let's get back. Let's rip right into this. Let's add this to the stage. Let's remove this. All right, let's move my head down here. All right, let's get into it.
That called me slurs over and over again in my live stream the other night for no reason. To the white guy that called me slurs over and over again in my live stream the other night for no reason, guess what? You're going to get kicked out of the United States Navy. Hi, my name's Real Life Consequence. I've done a thorough background check, and now I know everything about you.
Brutal. Sounds horrible already.
I know exactly which boat in the Navy you serve on, and I know the names of black sailors that serve in the same boat as you. Maybe I'll send the clips to them as well. But only after I send them to the Naval Inspector General's office, because I'm getting you fired. I'm getting you kicked out of the Navy. There's nothing you can do to stop me.
For the love of God, stop being dumb online.
Those are big facts. Stop being stupid online. Stop saying dumb stuff online. Stop writing dumb stuff online. Like, just stop.
That's why I have a channel, because I get to cover all the dumb stuff I see.
I like to cover what you cover, Nikki. So, yeah, thanks for your channel.
In the military sphere, especially when we have a streamer which seems to have done his homework and is going after the jugular of this service member, which is in the Navy, and essentially has canceled him in the most insane way possible. If you want to see the most epic crash out on this guy, watch the whole clip.
To the white guy that called me slurs over and over again in my live stream the other night for no reason, guess what? You're going to get kicked out of the United States Navy. You know how they tell us that we should be careful what we do on social media because there could be real life consequences? Hi, my name's Real Life Consequence. I've done a thorough background check, and now I know everything about you. I know what little town in Texas you're from. I know your name, your phone number, your email address. I've seen your disciplinary records. I know the names of all of your family members, including your dead mother and your daughter who...
Brutal. Wow, that guy knows a lot about him already.
Turns 2 next week, and her mother, who's going to have to pay for all the birthday presents this year because you came into my live stream and saw a black man who was talking about Pokemon cards and video games, and you assumed, yeah, he's not going to do anything if I call him slurs repeatedly, even though he's trying to help me. Turns out I am going to do something. Turns out there are so many things I can do because I have all the screenshots. I have all of the recordings. I know that after you left my live stream, you went into someone else's and started talking about how much you love Jesus and God and the Bible. So maybe I should send that evidence to the church you go to in that little town we both know about. I know exactly which boat in the Navy you serve on, and I know the names of black sailors that serve on the same boat as you. Maybe I'll send the clips to them as well.
Brutal already. Ah, man, I wonder what's going to happen with this guy. I wonder if Nikki already made a video about the next video about this. We're going to try to find it.
But only after I send them to the Naval Inspector General's office because I'm getting you fired. I'm getting you kicked out of the Navy. There's nothing you can do to stop me. There is no apology I will accept. There is no excuse I will listen to. There is no money you could offer me. You're getting fired. And when you're working the graveyard shift in an Amazon warehouse and your back hurts and your feet hurt and those white bright lights are beating down on you and the teenager who still has his life ahead of him walks up to you and says, "What are you doing here?" Tell him the truth. Tell him about me.
As my people say, God mother damn, this guy is crucifying him. He knows his entire family, his church circle.
In the name of Jesus.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
Standing in the office of the prophet of God, I execute judgment on you.
Dude, this would be the dumbest way to...
That's why when you're in the military, like, you can't just like add people, like, you can't add some like random person that you don't know. Like you don't add these people. Like you have to at least know them. You know, like, or you have to keep everything private. Like we had training on this. Hey, keep your Facebook private, you know, like keep your stuff private. The only thing that I don't have private is my Instagram and my like obviously my YouTube and my Twitter, but like I don't really like I don't say dumb things. Like I mean, yeah, I criticize like sometimes like dumb women when they do dumb things, but that's really about it. Like for instance, um some lady was so selfish that she took a foul ball from a little kid. You know, like how selfish can you be? And I shared it, and I said, some women are so selfish that she'll take a ball from a little kid. She'll take a foul ball from a little kid.
Tell a kid that's working Amazon why you gave up a good paying job that paid you benefits, paid you housing allowance, paid you probably a food allowance on top of that. On top,
I wonder what this guy's rank was too. You know, that's a good question to ask.
Of whatever other benefits, to just spill out stupid slurs online because that made you feel edgy or cool or whatever.
I'm sorry, you're fired. Get out of here.
Depending on what his situation is, this could be handled a lot of different ways. We are going to get to that. It's not just automatically kicked out, but I will say people in the military take the R word very seriously, and this person looks like they went about this the most legitimate way.
The R word, like, am I thinking the same? My dad's calling me during the live stream. What's up, Dad? I'm in the middle of a live stream right now. You should join me. Yeah, so I can have somebody watch. I'm literally live right now. I'm 8 minutes and 16 seconds in. Yeah, I'll send you the link. I'll send it to you. Hold on. I gotta find my profile. It's all right. Nobody's watching right now anyway. All right, I sent it to you on your phone. Are you in? Yeah, you're supposed to click it, and then it's YouTube should pop up, and then you should be able to watch it. Yep. Okay. All right. All right, Dad. Back to the program. Back to the program, everybody.
Inspector General Fraud, Waste, Abuse, and what they're in charge of, where they could actually investigate this. Also, I tell people, like, if you're posting in your uniform and he probably has a command ball cap or somewhere in the background it shows where you're at, like, it is a scary place how small this world is, and this guy just proved it. EA.
That's why you don't, keep everything public on your social media, and you don't post things like you don't post your command and stuff like that, unless if you're smart enough not to, say dumb things on the internet.
CE says this is why you don't make enemies on the internet, but also it costs nothing to be a good person. Forever XORR says, I will never understand why people are R-word. You gain nothing from it. This is insanity, but we do have some follow.
Oh, R word as in racist. Oh man, I thought it was that other R word.
Up from this because he has talked about it even further, and even others have commented on this. But I want to show his reactions. People were saying, "Why are you so mad about this?"
Somebody in the Twitch chat.
Well, you don't call somebody you don't call a black person the N-word. Like that's just disrespectful AF. You know, like don't do that, especially on the internet. Especially like they're just stupid. And then I've already watched this. The story, you know, like it's over some really dumb shit.
Said, why did you get so hurt by N-word? Genuine question. I'll give you a genuine answer. People who look like me used to get eaten in this country. People who look like me used to have parts of their bodies cut off and then fed to them. People who look like me used to get used for alligator bait in this country, and we couldn't do anything about it. So when people say it's not that deep, it's always that deep. It will always be that deep. People used to be able to say that word to me, and everybody else would just clap. And then if I said anything, I might end up in a tree. That's how it used to be.
Yeah, but you're not a victim anymore, guy. You know, like you're not a victim. And that's the thing. Like there's too much victimizing. Like, oh, I'm a victim, this, oh, woe is me. Oh, you hurt my feelings or stuff like that. Like you're not a victim, you know? So that mentality is a loser mentality. And this guy, sure, like this guy was disrespected AF, and you know, the sailor deserves whatever was coming to him. It's his fault. He's a man. So whatever he does, it's his fault. He's a man. So, but this guy is probably making bank with his TikTok and his YouTube channel, and he's probably making bank. And you know, and he still thinks of himself as a victim. That's a loser mentality.
That's how it used to be. If I can make sure you get punished, I'm gonna do it. And I'm not finna apologize to nobody for that. Maybe just leave me alone next time.
Yeah,
True. You know, maybe he shouldn't have said anything. Yeah, definitely. Like that would have been the smarter thing to do.
would leave this guy alone as well. If you are trying to be edgy to a guy that, by the way, it sounds like they were talking about Pokemon cards, like a nerdy stream. It's not like they were doing some kind of political debate that you see online where people are like looking to throw punches. I mean, it's Pokemon cards. Like, let's give some context. If you watch this guy,
So he was talking about Pokemon cards and he was calling this guy the N-word. Like that is just the dumbest thing that you could possibly be talking about over Pokemon cards. Like seriously, can we grow up? Like this, I pray to God that this guy's not a first class or a chief. You know, like if you're a chief, you should just know better already. Like even if you're a first and you're second, like just still kind of know better. Even if you're a second, third class, I would understand. Like, and then anybody else, E nothing down below, I would, you know, be like, okay, yeah, well, you know, you're an E nothing, so yeah, you dumb. So
as a page on TikTok and various other areas of
meaning it doesn't surprise me.
The social media sphere, you'll see it's like it's all nerdy stuff. It's all stuff that like should be escapism from the bad things of life. Okay. But on top of that, we now have people that were chiming in, jumping on top of this, researching things he could lose if this actually goes through and his stupidity lands him in the worst case scenario.
I looked up everything you lose when you are dishonorably discharged, and you lose fucking everything. No VA benefits, no health care, no GI Bill, no home assistance, no transition support, no military funeral, no student loans, no government assistance. You no longer be able to own a firearm. Depending on where you live, you may lose your right to vote. Holding certain public offices may be restricted or prohibited. A dishonorable discharge disqualifies you from most federal jobs.
This guy is like ecstatic. He thinks he's a victim because someone called him the N-word, you know, but it's very how do I say it, kind of like, oh, you know, like vindictive actually is probably the proper word. Vindictive of this guy to do that. Like he's just so happy. And yeah, all this stuff happens to you. If you get a dishonorable discharge, like you lose your benefits. It's not good. So that's why they usually always give out like other than honorable discharge so you can keep your benefits.
The discharge acts as a significant barrier in civilian employment as employers often check discharge documents. The background checks, this is my favorite part. The discharge is a permanent part of your record and cause you to get ghosted during the process.
He's probably a liberal too, which wouldn't surprise me. Oop, shit. My bad.
Support, no military funeral, no student loans, no government assistance. You no longer be able to own a firearm. Depending on where you live, you may lose your right to vote. Holding certain public offices may be restricted or prohibited. A dishonorable discharge disqualifies you from most federal jobs. The discharge acts as a significant barrier in civilian employment as employers often check discharge documents. The background checks, this is my favorite part. The discharge is a permanent part of your record and cause you to get ghosted during the process. I love this TikTok. I could just watch it all day over and over and over again.
Yeah, those people not giving sympathy to the sailor that said this, they don't care about your life, your family, whatever.
Same. I'm not giving him any sympathy either. Like, you're a dumbass for even thinking that was a smart idea to be saying racial slurs over the internet while you're representing the armed forces, especially the Navy. Like, how dumb can you be?
People are out here for blood, and that is because they know how to push buttons, right? It's pretty easy to ruin someone's life in 2025. That is the reality. And that's why you need to protect what you've earned, what you've done. You join the military, you kind of adapt a new set of values. You adapt new ideas that are different. And then I'm also worried because I'm like, if you're dropping these words on a stream, what does that mean with all the people you work with on that ship? And I have to give some credit to this guy, and that is primarily because he didn't out you. He said he just went to Inspector General. That was it. Now, we know that other than honorable discharges are probably what somebody could get from something like this, more administrative, if you will. And I get that, but even with that, that can still follow you. Some employers may still be like, it wasn't honorable. I do not like having a mark or maybe even a little blemish on my record and having to explain myself. It's easier to just do the right thing. And I don't know this person he's specifically talking to, what their career history trajectory is. That is up to the command to decide, and Big Navy to decide how they would handle this as far as that goes, because it is a holistic approach, right? While I know these people want him out, chopped, done, that's it. That's not the process, right? It's not that easy to just give people dishonorable discharges. It takes a lot to get there. So there is a gradient to this, but I'd love to know what you guys think about how this guy handled it. And have you dealt with stuff like this in the military? Let me know down in the comments below.
I never dealt with anything like that in the military, but let's see what the comments say. Nikki MGTV says, if you were in his command, what would you do? My testosterone levels drop while watching this video. Yeah, I mean, it's just such a soft, the guys like playing with Pokemon cards. And then, I mean, look, let's just face it. He shouldn't have done what he did. He shouldn't have said what he said on his YouTube handle or something like that. Like, he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have said that. But I totally agree with this guy. The testosterone levels in men have dropped a lot, and this Pokemon card guy is like the perfect example. Like, he's talking about Pokemon cards. Like, what are we, 15, 12 years old still? We're still playing with Pokemon cards. Actually, I have friends that still buy Pokemon cards, but whatever. I mean, you do you, you do you. Let's see. I love that his reason for being butthurt is alternative Black history. They was kings for sure. I don't understand what that means, but I am black and I shake my head, laugh my ass off. People are so soft nowadays. Yeah, like this kid is soft. Like some guy, some jerk off is talking to him on the internet. Like, like who cares? And I used to watch this guy. He's a political commentator, and he used to have people call in on a show, and they used to call and say the N-word to him all the time. Like, I was just shocked that these like conservative people were saying this stuff, So I was shocked. There was one more. There was another one. Oh, this one. Oh, this one. This one's good too. I don't really like Valhalla anymore. I think he's kind of a jerk off, but hey, I got this one right.
Ready with me to tell my deployed.
I don't remember if I shared this one or not. But we're gonna watch it.
Fiance that I'm pregnant. My fiance has been deployed for 6 months and my period is 2 weeks late.
Her fiance was deployed for 6 months and she's pregnant. What does that have to say? And she's 2 weeks late. She met Jody.
And honestly, he can't blame anyone but himself.
No. She needs to take accountability for her actions and what she did. Like, no. It's unacceptable.
On how I found out that my ex-husband was cheating on me for 9 months with his coworker.
As the new generation would say, chat, we are absolutely cooked because military spouses have not gotten enough heat. And the last time we got this was the first to fight Marine Girl, which obviously didn't know how to ride that cringe train, but
he's a Marine. First to fight, he's loyal. Honor, courage, commitment. Core values simplify. Oorah, he's a Marine.
Y'all know me, still same dependent with a bit more memes, hated on by most these trolls on Facebook, TikTok, and IG.
Stop it. Get some help.
So yeah, we are going to go after some of the crazy Dependa TikToks that are out there.
Well, technically that female who was engaged technically isn't a Dependa, but he actually probably dodged the bullet.
That essentially are exposing them for the great, fine women they are.
Ready with me to tell my deployed fiance that I'm pregnant. My fiance has been deployed for 6 months and my period is 2 weeks late. At this point, you really could just do the math yourself.
Let's just say it's been a month. That shows probably like a 4-month gap at least.
All girls are not single. Like when they say that they're single, always think that they have somebody else. Like girls are not single. Not nowadays.
I don't do math very well, but I can do baby math and not baby dad math.
All girls have backups. They always have a backup.
And the math is not mathing here.
And honestly, he can't blame anyone but himself. When we first started dating, he didn't say anything to me about joining the Army. Had I known that, I probably wouldn't have took him serious. I'm not trying to put the blame on him here, but I don't know what he's doing in Germany. Like, did he really expect me to sit around and wait for him?
I mean, I guess so. If somebody gave their word and they said we're still committed and he's still calling, texting, all the things.
I've been on 2 deployments when I was in a relationship. I was engaged for 1 deployment, and then I was in a relationship for my 2nd deployment. And I've never cheated on my significant other, like future spouse is what the proper term is in the Navy. So
things that a boyfriend would be expected to do. But I'm also like, it's 2025 where, I mean, it's like, are we legit, not legit? Are we official in this way or that way? Like we've complicated it so much. I think that we're just going to see the pendulum swing back. But I'm just going to be honest. Some of these Dependas are crazy like this. And rest in peace. I got to say, I did cover the story of Dana Alatabi where we saw where that went and she lost her life. So women do some crazy things and also military do some crazy things.
The only reason I said yes in the first place was because I thought we were going to get married before he left. But obviously, this was all just a test from him.
But what happens if they did finally get married before he left and she cheated on him? What would happen if that happened? Like, you know, what happens if Jody showed up and, you know, that would just ruin the marriage anyway. So this guy like literally dodged the bullet.
But the joke is on him. And to be honest, the only reason I feel bad is because I got caught. I don't know what he's doing, but I also don't have any proof.
So again, like the most part of societies and what I've seen from a lot of women on TikTok, not all, I got to say that so I don't get canceled. Accountability is their kryptonite. And she has no proof. She's like, well, you know, it's really not my fault, but I'm all about like having a shared accountability of this, but I'm also like, you are taking 0 bit of this, of the entire situation.
But unfortunately for me, my proof is right inside of me. I could just take care of it and not tell him, but I haven't made a decision quite yet. Maybe this is just part of our story. So I'll just have to convince him of that. Like Madea says, get them before you get got.
I wouldn't be surprised if this guy just accepts it and was like, oh, yeah, honey, I love you. Oh, yeah, baby. Ugh, disgusting.
That's exactly what I did. There's honestly no telling the news he's going to have for me today. But whatever it is, I'm going to make sure he tells me first. The question is, am I wrong for what I did? Do you think that you could have...
Yes, you're extremely wrong. You were engaged to get married. Like, that is extremely wrong. First off. Second off, you don't cheat, especially on the man. Like, you don't cheat. If you're in a relationship, it's different, you know, for men and women. But women shouldn't, you know, not have sex with, like, they shouldn't be promiscuous at all.
Possibly made the same mistake. You probably don't know what you would do in this situation because you don't even have a man. Anyways, wish me luck down below.
Can we?
Yeah, good luck to you. Good luck to you. If I was your boyfriend or your fiance, I'd tell you to take your stuff and get it out of my house, and you're no longer allowed to live with me or anything like that. I'm going to block your number. You're done. If you cheated on me, especially then you got married and then you got pregnant, oh my God, that's it. Like, it is over.
We go over the fact that she's asking if she's in the wrong, where she's like, I already know I'm wrong, but she's like, can someone just validate me? Let me cast my little rod out there in Rio and try.
Girls like validation. Like, they love it. I mean, so do guys too, but I think girls like more validation than that.
Rio and somebody that will actually care that I'm actually maybe a halfway decent person. I don't know. But I also heard a kid in the background. I'm like, oh my God, please tell, like, this is why military dudes, if single baby.
Military dudes are the biggest simps in the world. Like, they're literally, all military dudes are simps. They're either simps or like, just like, will do whatever they want. Like, you know, they'll let their wives run their lives. Like, no, that's not me.
Mamas, I don't hate them. You know, I
don't hate baby mamas either. Look, you know, sometimes that happens. Sometimes, you know, marriages don't, you know, sometimes you got to date a single mom, you know, like sometimes that happens. Like, you want to date a single mom, you know, it happens.
No mom has been that person, so I get it. But I'm like, be very cautious of who you select, because this could very well likely make your life miserable if you lose out on your retirement.
Well, especially since you're my age too. Like, I'm 38, and like I usually try to go for like anywhere from like 24 to like 35-ish, you know. I would go a little higher if, you know, if I think the girl is like pretty and attractive, but like, you know, like that's kind of like what's out there right now, you know. So, I mean, it is what it is.
The benefits, because this person's taken from you and could be lying to you. But that's not the only story we have for you, as dependents are going crazy.
The good thing is about the military life is like we could claim like children and stuff like that on our taxes, like as dependents. And more dependents you get, like, you know, more assistance you get from the military, or at least you get taxes back or something like that. I mean, I only have one, so, and I don't even claim her, so.
We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency announcement. Please stand by for further information.
And for all the Marines out there, it's not about being a Marine. It's not about the job you do, you know, 0311, but that don't even count. It's not even like even close to compare to what it's like to be a dependent. If you're a dependent, like, goddamn, like, y'all motherfuckers hold the rights of passage. Like, y'all got it down. Like, shit. Hell yeah. And then your little group.
He's in 0311, so that means that he's a rifleman. He's in the infantry.
Oops, like, oh my God. Like, Jesus, man. Like, y'all just be going off the damn tangents of how y'all know everything, and you guys are so bad, this, and this. And your husband, he's going to re-enlist. I'm going to make him re-enlist. He's going to do what I say. He's a yes man, so you're going to be like, yeah.
That's what I was talking about. Military men are simps. They do whatever they want. They do whatever their wives want. Like, they are simps. Like, oh, yes, honey. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. You know, like, I joke around with my buddies when, you know, I'm hanging out with them and their wives. Like, I mess with them and I'm like, yeah, dude, the admiral said this or that, you know, like, yeah, she's the admiral, bro, you know, like, hand salute, you know. Yeah, man, military dudes are they simp for their wives, man.
Yes, ma'am. Me? Hell no. Fuck that. I'm gonna do what the fuck I'm gonna do. And for all the other Marines out there, good luck to y'all. And don't let your wives fall into this little dependent group chat.
But yeah, let's get into this other wild story where a sergeant apparently gets caught on duty, literally on duty.
Story time on how I found out that my ex-husband was cheating on me for 9 months with his coworker. During this time, my ex-husband was in the military and I thought we were happily married. I thought I was in a healthy marriage with this amazing man. And my ex-husband was due to deploy overseas for 9 months. This was my first experience as a military wife dealing with a deployment. And it was very, very hard because I missed them so much. And I honestly thought he felt the same way, but come to find out. Now, I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm still going to say it because I feel like this is something that really got to me at that time. I was faithfully waiting for him for the entire 9 months. I never even had eyes for another man. And I was under the impression that the feelings were mutual. There were no red flags. He was never acting any different. So 9 months go by, we're reunited. Life felt blissful again. The marriage was rock solid. We were doing great. By this time, my ex-husband had already been back for about 2 weeks. Then I remember that he was assigned a 24-hour duty day. That's pretty much when the soldier has to work for a 24-hour shift. This is a day that I would never forget because it was so traumatic for me. He's at work, and then I get off of work. I come home, make dinner. I bring him dinner.
If you cook and clean, I'll marry you.
I go in the building and I walk into the front desk and then I see his boss, his sergeant. This is a sergeant that I had met before during like family events. So I walk in and I'm like, hey, how you doing? I brung him dinner, but I also brung a little extra for you just in case you're hungry. It was like tacos or something. And that man looked at me like he saw a ghost. But at this point, I asked him, is everything okay? And he says, no, ma'am. Can I pull you to the side so we can talk about something? And he asked,
I wonder what the female equivalent of Jody is. Jose? Josh? I don't know. Let me know.
Asked me, are you still married to so-and-so? I said, yes, that's my husband. He's always been my husband. This guy says, oh no, ma'am. He made it seem like he was going through a divorce with you, like he was separated. He had a girlfriend there for 9 months. That other soldier was walking around telling people that your husband was her boyfriend, and they were literally a couple out there. They were publicly.
Unfortunately, that stuff does happen where service members and other service members will ruin their marriages because of because you're so deprived of intercourse, I guess I'll say. I guess I kind of got to keep it PG here on YouTube, supposedly. So yeah, that stuff happens a lot where couples they'll split up because somebody else cheated while on deployment, or the other person cheated while the service member was on deployment. So it's unfortunate.
Dating, and nobody in the unit thought anything of it because he kept telling everybody that you and him were split up and that you and him were going through a divorce, that you and him were not together.
Broski.
Yeah, that's
You
brutal.
dropped the bag. I gotta be honest.
For real, yo, he dropped the bag, man. I mean, she brought him food, like if my wife or my girlfriend brought me food, that's it. It's done, like where's the ring? And when are we going to the altar? You're gonna bring me food? Is this gonna be like you're gonna cook? You're gonna pick up my magically pick up my underwear off the floor? Oh my God. I remember one of my first classes, he told me that his wife did that, and he was like, yeah, dude, I'm so lucky. And like seriously, he is. Like he's super lucky because he has a wife that does all that, like there's like blue jobs and pink jobs, and she did the pink jobs, which is awesome, so
she is objectively very pretty. A. B. She was making you food, bringing it to you on duty. 3. Had a job. By the way, dependence, I don't know what's going on with that. It's kryptonite like accountability. I've seen it. It's like fruit ninja out here. Like, I can't have a job. I can't work. I must feed kids, even though they're in school every single day. Oh my God, who's going to do the laundry? I know I'm going to get attacked for that. I know, but we're in America where unfortunately 2-income households are a very popular thing. It is.
Well, I mean, the girls want to work too. So, I mean, they want to chase the bag too. And it was never like that. But then like it's like the third wave feminism or something like that, from what I understand, is like here, right? So like that's why women chase the bag and stuff like that. But whatever, it is what it is. Let them chase the bag, let them have their fun, let them have their money, I guess, like just kind of, it's just the way that the world that we live in now, we have to accept it.
Crazy, because I'm going to throw some shade at some military women as well, because I'm like, the fact that she knew she was a side piece, she's out here doing this, man. Like, come on. Some people don't know how to keep secrets if they're going to do it, and unfortunately like to have, I actually have them. They're actually getting a divorce, which is crazy. I've seen some people lie about some craziness out here, and this story is not even unique.
He also said a few other things about how he felt like I didn't deserve that and blah, 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 blah. Because even though me and his sergeant didn't know each other like that, but we had interacted at like family events and gatherings.
Yeah, in the military, they do like family fun days and stuff like that. And, there are like, for instance, for this is like the Army ball. In the Seabees, we have the CB ball, like just like the Marine Corps ball and stuff like that. And the Navy ball and stuff like that. Seabees, we don't do anything for the Navy ball, but we always dress up in our dress uniform for the Navy ball. So yeah, I mean, it's very possible that she met a lot of his coworkers.
I remember one year I had a Thanksgiving dinner and I invited a lot of the people from his unit, and I invited him too. And he came over to our house and we had dinner. Like, we would always get together at like events and gatherings. So we weren't friends because I don't befriend men. We were cordial because of my husband. You know what I'm saying?
Did you hear that? That is a green flag for most military dudes, or dudes in general, is like, not having men as friends. And I'm not saying it to be like a controlling person, but to be like, she respected her relationship enough to be like, I don't consider these people friends. They're acquaintances. I'll bring them around. I'll help you out. Serve freaking Thanksgiving to all of your soldier buddies.
So you're telling me the whole 9 months, the whole time he was over there, he was with that girl? And he said, yes, ma'am, I have no reason to lie to you. This is her name. This is her rank. This is what she looked like. That was his girlfriend. Everybody in the unit knows that he was with her. After he said that, I said, thank you so much for telling me this.
When you're in the military, you can get in trouble for that. It's called adultery. Shame on that dude for ratting out his bro, but whatever. He's going to get a promotion now, probably.
Walking away and heading towards my car. As I'm walking towards my car, my ex-husband is walking out of some room, and then he sees me. He's like, hey, babe, where are you on? I just turn around and I look at him and I just turn back around and keep walking. He follows me outside to my car and he's like, what's wrong? What's going on? What happened? So in that moment, I tell him, I found out everything I know about your girlfriend. However, this is not a discussion we're going to have here in public. We're going to talk about this at home. This man looked at me like he saw a ghost. Was just shocked. Like he couldn't believe what I was saying to him. He like snapped out of it and he was like, no, but I can explain. No, like it's a misunderstanding. Did my sergeant tell you?
Magnate. Yeah. Sorry, man. Just seeing your live chat. You want to come on to the show and, then I could, give you some advice. 3 days ago, I passed the ASVAB and passed MEPS. Congratulations. Waiting now for confirmation for the tattoo waiver. I'm interested in going into the equipment operator rate. How's life at the Gulfport, Mississippi base? Gulfport's not as bad. It's not as bad as everybody says it is. There are a lot of things to do. You just have to find it. There are, there's like tons of like shops and restaurants and stuff like that on the strip of 90, and there's tons of wildlife there that you can do. Like there's so much stuff to do. As for you being 39 years old, my question would be are you married or are you single? Because if you're single, then you're going to have to live in the barracks. And being 39 years old, it's not terrible. I mean, I'm sure you'll be able to keep up with the young kids, right? But my question would be is how well are you with the younger crowd? Like, could you adapt with them and hang out with them? Or, because you won't be able to hang out with second classes probably won't hang out with you. Some of them might. The good thing is by being an E1, you're going into the boot camp as an E1, you'll probably be able to get out as an E3. You just take the exam, you'll get automatically promoted to E2 if you pass it, and like your study guide for when you get into boot camp. When you get into boot camp, they're going to give you a study guide. You have to study it, and they're going to give you an exam, and then you'll be promoted to E2, and then all you have to do is wait a little while. I'm not really sure on like the time and rate that when you pick up E3. Oh, okay, so you're single. Okay, so you're gonna have to live in the barracks, right? So just remember that what I would say is like these guys are young, they don't want you to father them. Definitely don't father them. I made some mistakes like that by, like fathering, I guess. And I would say by my favorite and my best roommate was EO2 Pierce. Pierce was from New York and I was from New York, and I didn't bitch at him or anything like that. I didn't do any of that stuff to him, and our relationship was great. We hung out together a lot. We drank beers and stuff like that in our rooms. And, we had a really good time. And because I think I didn't bitch at him about leaving a mess and stuff like that. So definitely don't father your roommates for sure. Just let it go. I'll say what my chief says to me is let it roll off. Let the water roll off your back like a duck, when it comes to stuff like that. All right. That's what I would say.
That because that's the only person who was there. There's no, he just started rambling. No, that never happened. That's a lie. Whoever told you that is just plotting against our marriage. He was spiraling, saying random stuff. In that moment, I tell him, we're not about to cause a scene here. I'm done talking to you. We will talk at home. I'm walking away now. Do not follow me to my car.
So yeah, not to spoil the entire story, but they did not end up together, and she obviously said X, so there was that as well. But yeah, I wanted to balance out the entire thing because I could bash on dependents entirely, but the first one, crazy. This one, notably, not crazy. And unfortunately, there are crazy military dudes as well. So let me know your crazy.
Let's look at the comments. Magnate, you can if you want to ask more questions, you can click the link and then you could ask your questions live. Let's look at these comments while we do that. Yeah, homeboy dodged the bullet. I said that. Yeah, for sure. Not married and not his DNA. Sure. Yeah, he doesn't have to pay child support. He doesn't have any attachments or anything like that. Cool. Yeah, that top link should bring you onto the show. The Muster Report. While we wait, let's see if I can pull up Fat Chief's video that he made me. I believe that guy still didn't buy any protein yet. Crabs in a bucket. Where is he? Here we go. Got to pay the bills.
When it's time to fuel up, I don't cut corners. This is Guns Powder, 100% whey isolate chocolate flavor protein that hits just right. You can mix it with water. I like to mix it with Fairlife milk. It mixes smooth, it tastes like a milkshake, and yeah, it actually keeps me full. It's got 25 grams of pure, fast-digesting protein. No added sugar, no fillers, just results. There's also 0 artificial flavors, just clean fuel your body actually uses. So whether I'm lifting, on the go, or just staying consistent, this is part of my routine now. If you're serious about clean protein with great flavor, Guns Powder is where it's at. Hit the link in the description, check it out, grab your Guns Powder today.
All right, give it up for Fat Chief. Fat Chief is on Instagram. You can go follow him. He's it's kind of like my boy. If you're looking for some whey isolate protein, I'm gonna put the website in the chat and in the top comment. Right now, if you buy 2 thruster burners, 2 fat burners, you'll get Guns Powder for 50% off. So use the code word MAX20. All right, I got one more for you guys, and I'm gonna call quits. I just have to change the share screen. What the fuck is that sound? That was weird. All right. Share screen. All right. This guy is a Navy chief, I believe. Here, is it up? Okay, yeah. This guy is a Navy chief, I think, or he was a chief or a senior chief. Not really 100% sure. This is going to be my first time seeing this. So we're going to playback speed. We're going to go a little fast on this one.
Do you have any freedoms in A school? Stand by, man. Stick through to the end, and you're gonna know all that stuff by then. All right, so check this out, guys. We're gonna go to some rules of A school, right? I was gonna go to easy ways to get in trouble in A school, but some of this is gonna kind of play into it, right? So take notes, get your pen, get your pen. All right, so you gotta do your work, right? That's like the main rule. Do your work, learn your job. The main.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong on that. Like, you do your job, know your work, right? Study. Don't get pushed back. Like, actually learn and study it.
main rule, right? Get qualified. You get qualified to stand watch, right? When you stand watch, you're gonna be doing something like this, right? So you're gonna be, doing something like that. Stand and watch on the quarterdeck sort of thing, right? You're gonna be on the watch sort of like that on the quarterdeck scene, and that's what everybody does, right? Here, this is more of a real depiction of somebody in A school stand and watch. You see these guys, super recruits, they don't even know what the hell is going on in the Navy, but sure enough, they stand and watch, right? So that's one of the rules, right? You got to stand watch, you got to get qualified, all right? You got to wear your uniform.
In the CBs, you're not going to need to get qualified. You'll do all that stuff in battalion.
Right. That's a rule, man. A lot of people be getting hit over the head. It's like the dude that I talked about earlier that got in trouble with the CO just for wearing his coveralls.
So this is not how you're supposed to wear your uniform. What the hell? Yeah, half a belt.
This rule be getting a lot of people jammed up on. This rule right here, bro, you can't walk around in uniform wearing AirPods in your ear, all right? And I know that's a silly one, right? But you.
Yeah, everybody, I hate that. I hate it when I see people have their earpods in while they're in their uniform. Oh, God, I just want to knife hand them.
You just can't do it, right? I see so many people get in trouble for walking around in uniforms with AirPods in the air, and it causes unnecessary BS on you, right? Just wait till you get back to your room or wherever, or to a place where you can wear AirPods. Then that's it. But while you on base, right, and you in an A school environment, while you on base, right, walking around, you can't wear AirPods. It is what it is, man. All right, and I know
you really can't, and you'll get jammed up for it, especially when you're in A school. The CBs, we have standards, like I remember talking to an admiral, actually, a CB admiral, and she was saying to me, she said, UT2, why do you know why there are people smoking in the parking lot and not in the smoke pit? I said, well, I'm not sure, ma'am. Why? She said, well, it's because the CBs, we have standards, right? So we would get jammed up if we got caught smoking in the parking lot. Like, somebody would knife hand us.
Some people think it's a real stupid rule, but it's the rule. It's a rule that they got in place. Another rule, right, is like you walking on base, right? While you walking on base, you can't be playing music. I see a lot of people get in trouble for that stupid thing right there. I've even got on people for it, honestly. It's the same thing with like walking around the base, talking on your phone and stuff, like speakerphone and all that stuff. The proper thing to do is to stop, have your conversation and keep it moving. I see a lot of people get in trouble for walking on the base, playing music, and they don't be playing no damn.
Yeah, that's like an A school. Like, I don't know about like playing music and walking on base. Like, I don't think nobody really gives a shit about that, but that's just an A school.
Making my way downtown, fucking fast. They be playing all the, you playing on my downfall, playing T Grizzly, playing all the crazy stuff. It's like, come on, bro. It's one thing to be playing music walking down the street, but you talking about, shoot this mother dude. It's like, bro, ain't nobody trying to hear that walking down the base because everybody not on that type of stuff. So yeah, it's a rule that you definitely will get checked on, right?
Oh yeah, he's a chief.
Another rule is you will get your bags checked daily. You get your stuff.
That is true. You will get your bags checked daily. I remember by waiting online on Fridays. Actually, on Fridays, I'm pretty sure that's when they checked our bags. I think it was on Fridays where they made us like take our backpacks and like just, make everything come out. I do remember that. So yeah, make sure you don't have like your phone on you when you're not supposed to. Like, you're not supposed to have your phone. You're not supposed to have like any electronic devices when you're in A school. So don't fuck up.
Stuff checked daily, right? Because unfortunately, some people, they like to break rules, right? Another rule is you can't bring alcohol inside your barracks and stuff. So people bring alcohol and drugs in their barracks, and it causes bag checks. So everybody gets their bag checked. I'm talking long lines, right? These lines be long as hell. And honestly, man, it's because of the people that came before you guys, right? And they were somebody that did something real stupid, right? So that's a thing. You will get your bags checked, man. And I get it. A lot of times it impede on people's privacy or whatever, but that's the rules, man. I mean, if you join the Navy, know that you're joining for that. When you get to your ship or whatever, or wherever your duty station is, that stuff kind of go away, right?
Right. He's right. Like, we're not going to inspect your bags or anything like that. We're not going to go through your clothes or anything like that. They don't do that in A school anyway, but we're not going to go through your shit. Like when you're in A school, when you're in a like battalion or whatever like that, when you're getting room inspected and stuff.
Because there's a lot of rules in place at that particular command you go, but your main focus should be A school, getting done with your job and stuff like that. Another thing that you got to do deck musters, man. Right? Deck musters. Y'all ever heard of like count during prison and stuff? That's what deck musters almost seem like. So here, let me see. All right, so everybody gonna be getting together, like kind of lining outside, and y'all gonna be getting a count, And
Yeah, I remember we had to muster in the morning, so it was like you had to wake up for PT. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, wake up for PT early in the morning, like at 4. It was brutal. It was so cold too in Texas. And then we mustered after breakfast, and then we marched to the schoolhouse. We sang cadences and stuff. And then we would march to lunch. And then after lunch, we march back to the schoolhouse, and then we'd have to muster after dinner, like right before bed, or like we'd have like a duty muster or something like that, and like duty section would have to muster and then clean, and then we'd have to sing the CB song. If you're going to be a UT or a CE, my suggestion is to learn the CB song now, so you know it when you go to A school.
And you're gonna have your instructors or barracks duty officer, whoever, they're gonna be counting heads. Make sure everybody there, right? Because unfortunately, one of the other rules that you have, you got curfew, right? And so for that curfew, everybody want to make sure that you accounted for.
Right. Yeah. They have like different liberty, like levels, right? Red, yellow, and green, right? So red means like you can't be in civvies at all. You can't leave base. You can't like do nothing. Yellow is like you can wear civvies, and you could, whatever, put in like a chit or something like that, I think, and then like green is like you're good. Like you can wear civvies when you're not working, except for on duty days. You could, put in an overnight liberty chit. You can go off base and stuff like that. Like, I'm pretty sure those are the levels. I could be a little bit off on some of the different like rules in regards to like UTs and CEs, but that's kind of like how like the liberty phases work.
That's how the Navy is. You're gonna go to every command, you'll see some form of that. Like for A schools, it's a little bit more strict because it almost felt like prison. Everybody waiting outside their door, everybody getting checked one by one and stuff. Some commands, depending on the A school you go to, they do it a little bit different. But that's what it is. They do a head count, and then in the morning, guess what? Do another head count. And some people even say you got to be on a grind at a certain time. Be on a grind, they do that head count again. Right? That's the rules. You got to do that. Another thing you got to do that's a rule is you got to march as a group. Right? It's almost similar to what you would be doing in boot camp. March as a group. Y'all singing cadence or whatever. If it's the daytime, you're probably not going to do it too much, like in the early morning. But for the most part, you're going to be marching as.
Oh no, we're singing cadences early in the morning. We were singing cadences. Sometimes we'll do formation runs too, where we'll have to sing running cadences and stuff.
It's a group. That's one of the rules, bro. Right? But when you get to the fleet and the Navy, you don't march as a group anymore. I mean, you just don't do it. All right. Another rule.
CBs still do sometimes. We still do running marches and stuff like that, running cadences. So don't think it's not happening, because it is.
Is at 10 o'clock, right? 2200 for you guys that know military time. 10 o'clock, that's it. It's taps. It's lights out. Not really lights out, but it's quiet out, right? When you get on the ship, you'll see that it is actually lights out. But it's gonna be quiet hours, man, right? So that's it. Ain't none of that, right? It's no loud noise, nothing like that.
Same thing when you're living in the barracks. Like, it's quiet hours like throughout the week, like just be respectful to your roommates, to your neighbors, Friday, Saturday night, sure. Like usually like it's like 12 or 11 or something like that. But, be respectful. That's all. Then you won't get jammed up.
So 10 o'clock, that's it. That don't mean that you go to sleep. Some people, they stay up a little bit longer, study. Some people talk to their family, but you can't be going crazy after 10 o'clock. That's a rule. You know what I'm saying? And if you somebody that's like too loud or whatever, then, somebody going to talk to you. As long as you like, all right, cool, I'll chill, I'll be quiet. Then that's the end of that. But if you somebody that's disrupting the peace, going crazy, you're going to get in trouble for that.
Oh! I'm going to strangle you half to death!
Another thing that you do, this one right here, bro, a lot of people, they come in and they get surprised by it. And it pisses them off, and I get it. You got to earn the right to wear civilian clothes, all right? I get it. That's tough for some people, but you got to.
Yeah, you got to earn the right. So like what I was saying before, like there's different liberty phases, right? So, The second phase in UT and CEA school is when you're allowed to wear civvies, right? But then like you'd either have to be able to wear, you'd have to either wear your peanut butters or your working attire, your working uniform. So if you're red phase, I guess.
Gotta earn the right to wear civilian clothes. All right. And
you have to get like a chit signed or something like that. You have to like get a PQS or something like that.
That's through something called phases, right? So in certain phases, like another thing that come with this phase is the type of curfew you get. So you have a phase system like in A schools, right? So like, it's just like a tier system or whatever, right? So like tier 1, for example, would be like, all right, you get to stay out at this time and you get to wear this, like you get to only wear this uniform. And phase 2 or whatever, you get to like, stay out until this time and you can wear like, maybe a PT gear. Phase 3, you get to go out this time or stay out until this time and you get to wear civilian clothes, something like that,
Right. Yeah. No, he's Deck Play Tone is like on the money on this. And like it's kind of like the same thing. Like you'd have to check out at the quarterdeck when you leave the barracks, right? And I think if you're not going to the galley, you don't have to check out. But if you're staying on base, you don't have to check out. But if you're leaving base, you'd have to check out. And yeah, you'd have to be able to do these Liberty like tasks to get to earn that stuff.
Other commands, they have it different, but all A schools have that. So don't be surprised when you come and somebody say, okay, well, welcome here. Check this out. You gotta earn your tears up, or you gotta earn your faces up. And by the way, you can't wear them jeans, them Jordans, them sneakers on. You can't wear that. You gotta earn it, right? I told you that, right? And a lot of other people tell you that too. But people come there, they get surprised, like, oh man, it's bull, man. I can't believe maybe it's like that. It's not. Like I said, your focus, they want you to focus on A school, all right? Focus on your job. They don't care that, you want to wear civilian clothes on a Tuesday to go like, all right, cool. Like if it's that serious, then phase up. You know what I'm saying? What happens is people circumvent that all the time. They do a little stupid stuff, to circumvent that, like they might take some clothes with them in their book bag, hiding them, and then they end up getting in trouble. But then that is how they get in trouble. When you come back, you do a bag check. People see you do a bag check, it's like, why you got civilian clothes in your bag? Dummy, all right? And it's not even that serious, right? Don't circumvent the rule. Just go with everybody else, right? Everybody else, they got to earn it. So you do the same thing, earn it. It's not that hard. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy. All right. Let's see. Like I said, your curfew is like 3 different tiers, and including the curfew, that even include like overnight curfew and stuff. So if you don't like phase up, if you don't do what you got to do, your curfew is at risk all the time until you get away from that A school, right? And if you don't want to be subject to those rules, only thing you got to do is hurry up, pass all your classes, and get the hell on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there was a time frame where I missed curfew twice in a row, and I got in trouble for that. I had to stand up at the quarterdeck and recite the Liberty rules to everybody. I got put on EMI, extra military instruction, where I had to annoy the whole class and everybody in the UTCE school. I had to tell them, every single person. And yeah, so that's what happened to me. It could happen to you.
Another thing, you can't drink in the barracks, right? They used to allow it some places, but yeah, now you can't drink in the barracks at all. And if you're underage, and if you get caught drinking underage, it's a wrap for you, all right? So yeah, man, just don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know some guys that got caught drinking underage and they went to mass and all that other stuff. They got busted down and this and that. So just don't drink underage.
Like with all those rules, a lot of people come and they don't realize those rules are going on. They think that's how the Navy is, and then they're like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna do whatever I can to get out. Honestly, man, that's not the way. Oh, and another thing, this thing I didn't say. If you fail your class, man, that's it. You lose your job. Perfect. A lot of people, they do stupid stuff.
If you fail, you'll get pushed back, right? You get pushed back a week if there's a class available. But what will happen is if you fail too many, they will re-rate you. I have a friend who was a UT. We were in UT school together, and he failed too many times, and they made him become a CS. So, like pay attention in school and make sure you're scoring and passing your exams.
stuff like, oh, let me try to fail it on purpose. Guess what? That's another rule that you broke, and you get in trouble for that. And then if you really like fail your stuff on purpose and end up disqualified for your job, you're not gonna get the job that you're hoping that you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think, if a person is just joining the Navy, right? No matter how many YouTube videos you watch, no matter how many people you think you know and all that stuff, once you go through A school, all right, you'll find out that a lot of those people, like they've been doing this A school Navy stuff for a while. So they know all the tricks, all the trades. So once you get in there, you're trying to circumvent systems and you try to do whatever, do underhanded stuff. They don't seen it all. So you walking right into a death trap. And then you end up getting in trouble and staying in A school long. Don't do that. Just take it from me. Just do what you got to do. And then you move on. Another rule is you can't really drive. Right. So people go to the grocery store, then they got to come all the way back with all of their.
You have to get a special request chit to be able to drive your car, or you have to be phase 2 in UTCEA school, I believe. Because I remember I had a friend who had a car, and I remember an NMCI or an NMTI questioning them. So yeah, I'm pretty sure you either have to have a chit or you have to have something that they know that you have a car.
Thing. I see some people, these people be walking like a mile and change for like a 20 pack of water. Bro, that's crazy.
Oh man, agony.
And I be feeling bad for them because, you know, you can't get on no ride either.
Yo, just go to the galley. You pay for it. Just go.
Because another thing, right? Let's go back to another rule in A school. You can't ride in POVs, right? You can't ride in POVs. If you have a POV, you got to get approved so you can have it on base, right? If you're not approved for that, guess what? You can't be riding around it, right? And you can't ride around in POVs from like, let's say if I seen one of y'all, like one of my people, like one of my deck play champions, I can't give you a ride. I can't, right? Because there's certain rules that we got to follow until you actually pass your A school and get to the fleet. You know, when you're in a student status, you can't be riding around with people that's not in the student status. That's against the rules. But back to this thing you should follow.
That's it. Black. I see why the military had to change a lot of dumb rules, and the military couldn't understand why they don't own anyone, and that's why the numbers started dwindling. I'm excited for the future military. Oh, there's only 1 or 2 comments on this. You're correct, but the Army is hurting, and the Navy branch of the Navy is a branch of the Army, so the Navy is also affected. The Navy doesn't exist with the Army, so the military had and will continue to change. The BS petty behaviors are on the outs. I'm excited for the new format of the military. Was long overdue. Interesting. Yeah. Well, there was someone who commented on one of my videos. He was asking me to do a review on the galley. So I haven't forgotten about you. I just really haven't had time to do that. I went on leave and all that stuff, and then I've been riding my motorcycle to work, so I don't have saddlebags right now. So I'm working on that. You're still in my thoughts. So for everybody who came onto the video, thank you. Magnate, I wish you the best of luck in EO school. Keep us posted and let us know what's going on when you're shipping out and all that stuff. Or if you can't tell us, or just message me on my Instagram on a private DM. And if you have any other questions, it's my handle is right here. It's my first _ middle initial _ Olivo. So, all right. Well, thanks for coming, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Peace. Oh, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Yeah. Thanks.